right, Luke?
All right, mate.
Yeah, not bad. Right, so, Luke, this is a Tom's cast. Obviously, you had the founding idea behind it, shall we say? So, what was your idea behind setting it up when you went out and bought a camera for 1,300 quid? What was your idea?
Yeah, well, actually, at the start, it wasn't podcast. It was doing cover songs. So I used to go and actually pay a guy to record the cover, and then I'd go away and do a video on a fancy camera. And I remember being at home and thinking to myself, it'd be class if I could just do a bit of like a piece to camera thing, you know, getting guests on and talking about experiences. So I remember there was one really bad gig I'd had. It was a disaster, and my guitar just stopped working halfway through the gig, and I wanted to talk about it
because
I wanted to get it off my chest, you know. And I was like, well, maybe I could start doing like mini series and stuff like that. But I just thought on my own it wouldn't really go anywhere, so I kind of parked that idea for a while, you know. And then obviously I mentioned it to you. I didn't particularly mention it to you in sort of a way where I said, "Oh, let's get together," but you were up for it, weren't you? And I thought, fair dues.
Yeah, I was like, do you know what? The idea had been playing around my head for a while about doing a podcast, because obviously, you know, we've watched a few. You see this Jackamate that's gone mad. You see, I watch the High Performance podcast, and you see, like, you know, professional footballers are even doing it now. It's come off. So I just thought. Also, a couple of my mates had done it, so I wanted to see what it was like. I just wanted to try it out. And when you mentioned it, I was like, do you know what? It's an opportunity. If we don't do it now, we never will.
No.
So I said, just straight away, I went, yeah, let's do it.
Absolutely, yeah.
So, coming on to that though, Luke, we've only known each other about a year. Yet there seems to be this element amongst our mates that there's...
Well, you say your mates, it's Chris Bowden.
Yeah, it's Chris Bowden. And
giving me grief online.
You know, from Flash Floods. Check him out if you haven't checked him out already. But yeah, I mean, he seems to nick my phone and think that we've got something going on between us, you know.
We can't confirm that I'm engaged and you're...
Yeah, I'm living with partner, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know, this is a chance for us to defend ourselves. So, yeah, the only thing that's really happened between me and Luke, we've met each other 5 times in a year, and all we've done is worked on sound and a podcast.
Yeah.
Like, and also there was a night out because Luke turned up at one of my gigs only a few weeks ago.
It was actually by accident, that, you know.
Yeah, completely by accident.
Not that I wouldn't come and watch you, but we were having a bit, because I've had a few weeks off gigs, and we said, we'll go for a bit of a night out round Chorley. We went to Escape, which, if you don't know what that is, it's like a bowling alley. What else has it got in it? Crazy Golf.
Crazy Golf, yeah, and it's got a little restaurant and bar in there, isn't it?
Yeah, so I turned up and you're there setting up. I was like, we've got a good night ahead here, you know.
Yeah,
watch you sing.
Yeah, so I decided to pack my gear up, stick it in the car, and went and met Luke in a pub. We got there, you were fine, weren't you? And what happened afterwards, Luke? It was like gone in 60 seconds, wasn't it?
Few too many sherbets. not you know, alcohol, let's say that. And just had a bit of a laugh, didn't we? Went to a few pubs. I was giving people piggybacks downstairs.
Oh, that was funny. That was funny because obviously before that we walked into a place called the Vaults in Chorley, which they have some decent musicians and DJs on, actually. Decent beer in there, but for whatever reason it just seemed to be weird night in that pub. It was like the night before New Year's Eve. Just for anyone listening, there's the toilets in the vaults are upstairs, so Luke goes in, tactically goes to the toilet so he doesn't have to get around in. And the next thing, Luke's been gone for quite a while. And we're thinking, hang on, where the hell is Luke? So we go to the door to go up the stairs and find out if he's all right. And the next thing, like, the stairs come down one thing and then there's a wall and it goes down the corner.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, I'm just take one step onto the first step and Luke comes down with some guy on his back, giving him a piggyback, going, way! Then we went into that bar that was like, could only be described as GTA.
Oh, which one was that?
What was it called? Was it the Flat Iron?
Oh, yeah. Why did we describe it as that? Was it the music that was being played?
Yeah, it was the music that was being played, and I think just the way that people were dressed, it did, the lighting and everything did all just look a little San Andreas, didn't it? It was funny. But yeah, like, that's a chance to defend ourselves, Luke. There is not a bromance going on
No.
here. It's just a couple of lads that are meeting specifically for music purposes and accidentally having a night out.
Yeah, it was an accidental night out, to be fair, but
The unplanned ones are the best, aren't they?
they are, mate. Yeah. So I remember coming across you lot for the first time. So if you remember, the Golden Line still exists, doesn't it? But
Yeah.
it used to be Darren Cooper. Shout out to Darren
Yeah,
Cooper. He was
go on,
a good landlord in, weren't he?
Yeah, played there a few times.
And he used to have me on a bit. He used to have Flash Floods, which is obviously your band, a bit.
Yeah.
So I'd obviously check out what you were doing and stuff like that. And I remember you did like a acoustic duo night with just you and Chris.
Yeah.
What was the song I remember you doing? Like Ever Falling in Love or something like that. Was it that?
No, it wasn't that. That's not part of our set. There was. It could have been a few. We do quite a few, but yeah.
It's one
Moving on. I
similar
can't
to
remember
that.
which song.
I remember thinking, oh, you're pretty good, you guys, and that, and you were obviously a good guitar player. And a lot of the time, when you come across good guitar players, they've got a bit of a funny ego about them, haven't they? Sometimes
Sometimes you can definitely get there.
But with you, I think I'd asked you something about a guitar, and Chris had put me in touch with you. And you seem like dead helpful, and then obviously you've been helping me with my sound and that, so we've become quite good mates. I think that's quite rare, to be fair. That I'm not like you'll play it down, but you are like a pretty good guitar player. So like, you know, you help me out with stuff, and I feel like there's no ego with it. You know, you're not trying to prove anything. You're just helping me out, which is
I mean,
rare.
to be honest, like, you know, I've been playing a long time, and I know roughly what I'm doing. If it came to lead stuff, I think you may have a different idea, to be honest. But
I saw that video
so you're right.
yeah.
I did play it down, but like I just it's one of those, you just know your own ability, really. But I think with that, if I was struggling, I would just ask a mate that does it for help. And you know, there are some people out there, like we always discuss the forums on Facebook, and you know, every day there could be a screenshot. You know, we don't tend to do it, but any day of the week you could literally send a screenshot where someone's asked a question, and there's about 20 guitarists jumping on the back, absolutely hammering them.
I've got a story about that, really, so I won't name the page. I think probably everyone will already know what it is anyway. But it was, I think I'd asked about EQing to different rooms, like EQing my sound, say if it's a really carpeted room, or if it's like, you know, it's marble floor and all. I said, how do people adjust their EQ settings and blah blah blah, and I got so much grief in the comments. And it was just, it maybe was a naive question at the time, and it was quite a broad question, but I remember like reading some of these comments and thinking, like, this is what the local music scene's like, but it's not like that. It's just you get these collective of people that are kind of, are they bitter? I'm not sure, but it's like
sometimes I think sometimes, obviously nowadays you have got that element of everything's in your hand. Do you know what I mean? You've got a phone there. You could just Google the answer. There are YouTube videos about it, but just point them to the YouTube video. Just say, listen, it's a long way to explain it, but here's a YouTube video that might help you. It doesn't cost anything to just be nice, does it?
And to be fair, it is worth saying as well, I have met some pretty decent people on said page as well, and there are people that do help you out there, and it'd be good to bring them together as well, because there are a lot of helpful people out there. There's also a lot of arseholes out there as well, with anything.
But, you know, anywhere you go there's going to be dickheads, is the best way to describe it. You know, there's plenty in the pubs around the area, but some of them aren't even dickheads, are just pissed. But, you know, like, I think, I just see it as those people that are doing that wouldn't say it in person, and the ones that are decent, helpful people are often calling them out, saying exactly the same thing. So, you know, when you get someone that is just asking a question, answer the question. Don't get on your high horse about it. They're asking for help because they don't know. And if you can help them, it can only get you more respect anyway. Not that you do it for that. You're doing it to help someone out, but people will respect you more if you just help them out, and they just say, oh yeah, he's good, he knows his stuff. That's how they'll talk about you.
And that's what I'm looking forward to about this as well, I think, because we'll get people on, and you know, you might ask them a question, I might ask them a question about whatever it is, and you know, people aren't going to be an arsehole to you, are they, if they come on here, and it's a friendly space. And we're not going to be arseholes, they're not going to be arseholes, and you can maybe learn a thing or two. People can sit at home and watch it and maybe learn a thing or two. It's all friendly and it's all non-biased, non-agenda driven.
Yeah.
It's just
you know, it's a space. Sometimes like you get people holding back information, and like you sort of think, like, oh yeah, I can't give away their industry secret. Well, you know what? Like, I've got a very socialist view in this, and if I'm doing well, I want other people to do well. You know, I've managed to make this my career.
Yeah.
By struggling for the best part of 10 years to get to it, and you know what? If you can help someone to do it in 2, why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I just don't see why you wouldn't.
No.
And do you know what? Like, there's some great guests that we've got lined up on this podcast. I'm looking forward to just talking to a few of them.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So just to bear in mind and go on to that a little bit and elaborate on that, we've got not only musicians, so it's not just your cover singer that sings in a pub. We've also got bands that write their own original music, putting it out there on Spotify, doing music videos and everything. You've also got booking agents, because a lot of people don't understand booking agents. And you know, I think there's a lot of people out there, a lot of artists out there that would hear the name booking agent who might be a bit sceptical about it. But, you know, I've used a few. There's some good, there's some bad. So it'd be a good perspective from that angle. There's also producers. So for anyone wanting to record a single or an album, you know, we're going to have those people on. And
imagine if we could get a sound engineer on that could give you the best tips to how to record from home as well, stuff like that.
Yeah, that would be brilliant.
You know?
Yeah, that'd be brilliant, because sometimes you get these programs, you've spent 120 quid on a program.
Yeah.
That the plugins that you get with that program might be rubbish, yet there might be one out there that you could use for free for a limited time, that's a lot cheaper, that comes with great plugins, and you just don't know where to turn because all that's shoved in your face is the most advertised.
Yeah.
So there's going to be angles and things where people have looked at that you wouldn't have ever known to look at. So this is why we're getting such a range of people on, and this is the whole point in the pod. You know, it's for us to get to know things as well as you guys, and if we can share our learnings just from having a conversation, record it and get it out to you guys, then that's the deal. That is the deal for me. That's
absolutely. Hope that's helped persuade you to tune in a little bit more, and we look forward to. Well, we won't be seeing you, but you'll be seeing us. So cheers.
Yeah, and get in the comments on our social media posts. If you've got any questions, please ask. We're willing to answer them as well, not just in the pod, but also in the comments as well. So get commenting away, like, share, subscribe, follow, and we'll see you soon.